All right. Wait, have we started yet?
Wait, oh shit. Wait, hold. Oh dear. Oh no, what a terrible calamity to have happened. Oh me, oh my. Hello. Welcome to another episode.
That's the intro.
That's the intro.
I thought you genuinely didn't know.
No, I did.
I was like, come on, man, this was a bit.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Have a Good One. I am your host, Samuel, and this is my good friend, Chris, my close good friend. Say hello, Chris.
Hi. I'm now talking to the room.
Yes, the room, the people, the audience, whoever may listen to this. But anyway, Chris and I, this is actually first episode of season 2 of Have a Good One as well.
Oh God, I think I just listened to the last episode of season 1. If the panic episode was the last one, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah. I did like one more after I was done with that.
The thanks guys one. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was the one. But yeah, so start of season 2, and boy oh boy, do we have a doozy of an episode to start off with. So you may know from some of the episodes I've done late that I like Marvel. I'm quite a fan of Marvel, and naturally, I am also quite a fan of the Marvel movies, as is Chris. So I've decided to try and compile a tier list of all the Marvel movies, all of them except for Black Widow, because neither of us have actually seen that one yet.
Not yet. I want to see it. I was really excited to actually see it this year.
Yeah, I know.
Last year, for that matter, and it just never happened.
I know. It's much disappointment.
I'm curious whether cinemas are still going to be playing films that came out.
I don't know.
I'll definitely go if they are, but like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know. But anyway, yes. So, Chris, it was like you had said that what was it? Incredible Hulk and Ant-Man and the Wasp were the only two you haven't seen?
Yeah, I've seen. Let me get my tier list up on my side so I can actually reference. Yeah, out of all the MCU films that have been released currently, I've seen all of them except like Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Incredible Hulk, and of course Black Widow, but that just because it just came out.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. And yeah, I've seen all of them except Black Widow. So, I reckon a good way to go about doing this would be to just go in the order that the movies were released.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, so in that case, the first one made Iron Man in 2008.
Alright, what are the tiers? What have we got? I made my own tiers, but
yes.
What are your tiers?
So, my tiers are basically like S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and I actually didn't go any lower than D tier personally.
Oh wow, I have a lot more than.
Oh okay, what are yours?
I have going from the top: bangers, amazing, pretty good, average, subpar, and then don't watch.
Oh.
I have a don't watch category.
Oh dear.
But I
Okay.
can reorganize that tier list to make it.
I mean, okay, wait, hold on. So, wait, what were yours again? So you had bangers,
Bangers, amazing, pretty good, average, subpar, and then don't watch.
pretty good.
Because I don't know, when I see tier lists, like I think of C tier as like the base tier, like it's average, middle of the road. So when I see a tier list and C tier is like the second last one, I'm like, that makes B average, and I'm like, nah, C is average. A is like the best before S, and then like S is usually for like the really great stuff.
Okay, so I'm guessing that like, for you, like, bangers are basically S tier.
Yeah, basically.
Amazing's A tier.
Yeah, B tier is pretty good, average is C, subpar is D, and then don't watch is just like, I mean, it would be like
Lower.
E tier, but like F tier is essentially like don't watch.
I mean, okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, now I've kind of got a comparison to make. Maybe I'll just start using that metric as well. Um, yeah, so anyway, that's pretty much how we are going to be ranking them.
All right,
Um,
so we start with
yeah,
Iron Man, one that
Iron
started
Man
everything.
1. Yeah, the
Um,
one that started it all.
yes, this was the first one I'd actually seen. I mean,
Really?
it
This
makes
was the first one?
yeah. I think when I started watching the Marvel films, I think Phase One was basically done because I
Ah,
remember getting for Christmas Avengers on DVD. So, which means by the time I started getting into the Marvel films, Phase One was done.
oh, I see.
So, I could have seen any of them, but I watched because when I was a kid, I watched Iron Man Armored Adventures, a cartoon in which Stark is a teenager. So
Hmm.
I I watched a lot, and then I'd also seen Superhero Squad and Earth's Mightiest Heroes, so three Marvel cartoons when I was a kid. And since Iron Man was the one that like had his own show, Iron Man was the character I of course attached myself to when I first started watching Marvel films because he's the one I was the most familiar with.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I didn't see this one first actually. I saw, I think from what I remember, my first time exposure to the MCU was like trailers for like I think Hulk and Iron Man 2. And it's like a friend in primary school who was like really into Iron Man, I think, would talk a lot
Uh,
about Iron Man 2.
I've got some things to say about trailers when we get to some of the later films.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, anyway, let's actually talk about Iron Man. What do you want to
Yeah,
do? You want to give a
I-
quick plot synopsis, or are we just gonna rank it?
I reckon just rank it, otherwise we'll probably be here forever.
Yeah, fair enough. So, Iron Man
Yeah.
is just the origin story. It's got Obadiah Stane, uh, James Rhodes or Rhodey #1
Yep,
because that happens.
that happened.
It's got Pepper Potts, Stark.
Happy.
I'm forgetting the doctor's name, but the guy who dies.
Oh, Dr. Yinsen.
Yinsen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Anyway,
only know this because, like, actually, no, I remember because, like, I saw, like, some episodes of Armored Adventures as well, and it was like, they mentioned, like, a Dr. Yinsen a few times.
It's on Netflix. You can actually rewatch it.
Oh, sick! I don't have Netflix.
I do, so it's on my list.
Oh boy. Although, yeah, actually, we'll talk about this afterwards. Actually, but yeah. So, Iron Man 1. I would, I would personally put this in the A tier or amazing tier.
What?
What do you mean, what?
Comparatively to some of the stuff that comes later, mine is like bottom B tier.
Bottom B tier? What are you crazy?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good, but like it's not as good as like the things I've put above it. Like
Okay.
the things below it, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like one of them's gonna be pretty controversial. They put quite low, but like, I think the first Iron Man is quite clean as a nice film.
Yeah,
It's
I reckon
everything.
it's very-
It's got everything in it to set up Iron Man, the character. It's got some amazing songs. It ends
Mm,
on Iron Man's Black Sabbath. No, Black
mm.
Sabbath. Iron Man by Black Sabbath. Wrong way. And it also has Driving with the Top Down when he's testing the Mark II, which I think is one of the better tracks in that film.
Oh yeah, and also of course, the opening song, "Back in Black."
Oh yeah, that classic AC/DC. I think that's also they also use Shoot to Thrill in the Avengers film when Iron Man actually comes to Germany.
Oh.
It plays through the Quinjet, like he hacks the speakers for some reason. Like out of everything he could hack, he's like, nah, speakers, theme music.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Iron Man's a good B tier.
A good B tier. Okay, so you're putting it B tier. I'm putting it like mid A tier.
I definitely think you're gonna need to link the audience to the two different tier lists by the end of this.
This might be necessary.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway.
Well, that's why I put Iron Man. Alright,
Okay,
so the next
well,
one,
anyway.
I believe, is
Next up,
Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk. Yes, introduction to Bruce Banner or the Hulk. We've got
No, you continue.
we've got we've got General Ross, who comes back a few times. We've got Abomination, who apparently is going to be in Shang-Chi.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, didn't
that's
you hear that?
no, I didn't. I haven't been. That one looks interesting. I've seen the trailer for that. That one looks really good. I don't know.
Apparently, Abomination's going to be in it.
Okay, that's a really interesting.
Yeah. Also, you've got Betty Ross as the main love interest, and most importantly, Edward Norton as Bruce.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
nothing from this film other than Thunderbolt Ross currently was carried into the greater MCU.
Yeah, other than, I guess, the character of Hulk. But...
Yeah, like the character, but not like everything that Edward Norton does in this film is not, from what I've heard, is not what Mark Ruffalo does. Mark Ruffalo does some amazing stuff in the first Avengers.
He
It's
does.
Like character work.
Yeah, I will say, the two of them do play Bruce Banner a lot, like, very differently. I think Ruffalo kind of delves more into, like, the awkward scientist part of Bruce, but, like, Edward kind of plays more into the, I guess, like, when he's, like, on the run, and trying to survive that way.
I didn't get awkward scientist. I think I got more like jittery, because remember when we first introduced to the Hulk, he's not awkward with Natasha. Actually, he's quite like calm.
True, actually.
And then on the helicarrier character, he's jittery, not because he's awkward, but because then again he's on a flying warship.
Yeah.
And he's the Hulk. Like if he hulks out, that's it. That's game over for everybody in that thing, and which happens later in the film.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Like,
okay, yeah, maybe more jittery. Granted, justifiably jittery.
Yeah, of course, justifiably. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's awkward. I think he does have a few moments where he's a bit of like a awkward guy, but like overall, I wouldn't call him awkward.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm guessing that you didn't really rank this one at all.
Oh no, I did. It's in the don't watch category. It's in the don't watch. I've heard a lot of people say it's not that good. Last night I was watching some people review these films just to get a general gauge on some of them again. And one of them, like, just watching a lot of the shots from the Incredible Hulk, I'm just like, yeah, no, this just doesn't even look that great. Like, I know dated effects are usually one thing that people talk about with older films, but like some old films like Lord of the Rings, those effects are great. Jurassic Park, Jaws, the original trilogy, those effects look great. Like, yeah, of course we've got better stuff now, but like those things for like what they had look amazing, even today. But then you look at the Incredible Hulk and you're like, yeah, nah, this ain't it, fam.
It is definitely dated. I will give it.
Yeah, it's like watching it's like watching A New Hope and you see all the effects they added in, and you're like, yeah, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I've thrown it into the don't watch, which is my lowest category.
To be fair, you probably could just skip the Incredible Hulk, like, if you really wanted to. I personally feel as though it's a bit underrated. Not so much so that it would really usurp any that come, like, that would otherwise be above it. But, like, I wouldn't say the movie is, like, bad, per se. It's like, I don't know, it's like, I definitely found, like, I guess Bruce's turmoil of, like, being, like, on the run, trying to survive and, you know, protect others from himself. I found that to be quite engaging. I felt that Abomination was actually a pretty good foil, and especially as far as Phase 1 villains go, I would say he was one of the better ones.
What? Phase...
Okay.
Actually, yeah, going through all the Phase 1 villains, aside from Loki, I'd say, yeah, I'm like thinking like Stain, he's just a guy.
Yeah.
Whiplash, he's so much more aggressive. In, like, when I watched Armored Adventures to the film, I'm like, nah, Whiplash in the Armored Adventures is insane.
Armored Adventures, isn't he like a cyborg or something like that in that?
Yeah, he's a full-on cyborg, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember. He has like these, they develop a new armor and everything to like, I mean, that's pretty much the answer to every problem in the first season of that show is pretty much like, oh, there's a new enemy, new armor. Then again, like, it is Tony Stark. That's the whole point of his character. He has a lot of.
Yeah, it's very much Tony as a person. It's like, oh, Hulk's on the rampage. I got a
Yeah.
suit for that. It
And I
doesn't
think
work very
in
well,
first
but I
event,
got one.
like, the Red Skull is like, yeah, he's a villain, but like, I think the coolest thing they did with him was the stuff in Infinity War and
Yeah.
Endgame.
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably goes without saying, but
Spoilers.
spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry.
Bit late, but
Anyway.
unlucky. Anyway, so where did you put the Hulk?
Okay, so at first I'd put this into low C tier, but now that I think about it a little bit more, it's like, I'm not sure whether to put it like low C or high D, because like there aren't actually that many movies that I've put in D tier.
I mean, I think my tier list is, I think, mainly top heavy. Like towards, like once you go below average, there are actually just as many films in average as the two below tiers combined.
Oh, okay.
Like I have 6 films in average, and then I have 2 in don't watch and 4 in subpar.
Okay. You know what? Actually, I'll stick with my guns and say low C or low average, I guess.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, the next one.
Iron Man 2. Okay.
Iron Man 2, you know, he's dying of heart shrapnel. The whiplash is like, my dad helped work on this. You stole it. I'm gonna kill you. Justin Hammer's in the film.
Yeah. He's quite entertaining. Oh,
there's that whole scene in the Senate, which I find super enjoyable. Like, Hammer Industries is probably the closest one to actually making a suit in that scene, but yet Stark is like, nah, Hammer's like behind everybody else by like a solid extra like margin.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's a good scene. Also, we get Don Cheadle as Rhodes.
Yeah, Don Cheadle as
Rhodey, War Machine.
Yeah, War Machine.
Yeah, because oh far out. There's a lot of dodgy stuff around, like why like some people thought they could get away with casting him. I mean,
I've not
some
looked
people.
into it.
It's more just one person. Who's very high up.
Yeah, I've not looked into it. I just know there's some drama about like the casting about that. I've never looked into it.
However, I would say that I like Don Cheadle's performance as War Machine.
I've noticed we say his last name different. You go Don Cheadle, I go Don Cheadle.
I mean, I've never actually heard someone else say it before.
Fair enough. Anyway,
I guess we'll find out eventually.
Yeah, I do like his performance in this, but I don't know. I don't think it's as enjoyable as the first one.
I would definitely not say that it's as enjoyable.
So, I've gone with controversial opinion. I've thrown Iron Man 2 in low, which would be your D tier, but it's my subpar tier.
I see.
So, Iron Man 1's in pretty good, but like, Iron Man 2's in subpar.
Subpar and low subpar.
Because, like, yeah, it introduces a lot of cool things, but you can't overlook the film and how it and the story over, oh, look, it introduces so many cool elements, because then there's no point to making any of these, because then all of these films would be higher than they are, because, like some films, like, that we're going to talk about later, they introduce really important elements to the universe, but the thing is, they're not that good, or they're not that entertaining. So so what's the point of putting them really high?
Yeah, like I will say Iron Man 2 it's quite a fun movie to watch. But yeah, there are a lot of problems.
Yeah, so I threw it in subpar.
Yeah, I put it in low C tier as well, but below the Incredible Hulk.
Mine's above. Because Incredible Hulk is in Don't Watch.
Yeah, it is kind of a toss-up between those two.
I'm thinking I might change some of these, because I don't know, I felt if I was putting too many in average.
I don't know, I feel as though I've kind of like split mine up rather evenly, except for like the very bottom tier. Also, wait, I just remembered, Elon Musk is in Iron Man 2.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I do remember that. No, I'd say my favorite part of Iron Man 2 was the trailer, because at the very end they show him putting on the Mark V, and they put it on some, I can't remember which track they put it on actually, but they put some really good music behind that in the trailer, and that's the whole reason why somewhere in my room I have a Mark V action figure, and that's why it's my favorite armor, purely because of that trailer moment. I love the idea of the suitcase, and then he just like puts it on, and that holds.
Yeah, that was
That's the
actually really sick.
That's the Mark V. I love the whole design of the Mark V.
Yeah,
Even though out of all the armors that pre Iron Man 3, it's the weakest.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like, it's kind of the trade-off, because it was like, this was kind of like, I guess, the first attempt at making the suit compact.
Yeah, portable. Because the next time we see a suit that can even move independently of Stark is the Mark 7 in Avengers, and that one is like massive. Like that pod is huge.
Yeah.
It's the same size as him essentially. Like, well, the Mark 5 is a super. It's probably a heavy briefcase, but it is a briefcase.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
there's a lot of there's quite a few cool set pieces, but yeah. There's quite a few problems with the story.
I remember seeing someone point out that Whiplash is at the race to kill Stark, right? And in the film,
yes.
and in the film, he poses as like a race tech. But the thing is, Stark wasn't gonna race. He was never confirmed to. He did it like last second.
Yes, actually, you're absolutely right.
But then again, how I rationalize that is he knew Stark was going to be at the race, and he used the race tech to get into the race. And then it was like happy accident that like he was racing later. He was going to kill him regardless, but it was just a happy accident.
Fair enough.
I don't know. That's probably the way like it's probably rationalized in universe. He used it as a disguise to get in. He didn't know Stark was racing, but when he heard he was like, "Oh damn, opportunity!" Like he was going to kill him anyway. He was just like, "Oh, this is just a better opportunity."
Yeah, fair enough. So we've got low subpar or low C tier. Low subpar for you, low C.
Do we want to start like trying to like? Do you want me to like get my tiers up on a different tab so I can like match up with yours a little bit? Like instead of saying subpar, it's like
I could just start following yours because I feel like that's kind of more interesting than just the letters.
I mean, yeah, okay, if you want.
And I've just got them in brackets on my doc anyway. Anyway, next up, Thor.
Thor the first one. Once again, pretty forgettable. Like, it introduces Thor and Loki, but that's pretty much Thor before he was good, and Loki really got good in Avengers.
Oh, see, no, I would actually say Loki's a better antagonist in Thor than the Avengers.
Really? I prefer Loki in the Avengers. I think in Dark World, it's just annoying because they kill him and then he comes back anyway. So for Loki, I get he's a fan favorite, but the thing is, one of the things I know this is done in comics all the time, but in like mainstream things, I feel like when a character dies, you need to make that final, because if you keep bringing them back, it kills the stakes for everybody else.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem that comics have had quite a bit. It's like someone dies and no one really cares because it's like, oh, they're gonna come back eventually.
Yeah, that's why I think, like, at least in stories I like to do, write and read and watch, I like when they kill off a character and they keep it that way. But I always say to myself every time I watch a show, I'm like, when they kill a character, I'm like, okay, how long is they going to stay dead for?
Yeah.
Like, I usually hope it's more than one episode, because usually most TV shows, they do it for one episode and then that's it.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah, some shows do that. Like, I know with, when I used to watch the Flash CW shows, a lot of the big cliff endings of the seasons, for the next season, you think, oh, Flashpoint, they're going to do like 5 episodes on Flashpoint. No, Flashpoint in the CW show was like lasted for 1 episode before they went back to normal.
Oh, wow.
And I think CW's got a whole lot of problems with their Arrowverse shows that I've seen some good videos about it. I'll send you one. Okay, anyway, so Thor for me is top of subpar.
Top of subpar?
So it's above Iron Man 2, because I'm like, it was one of the first ones. Iron Man 2 came after.
Okay, so I put Thor actually in like bottom, like the very bottom of pretty good tier or B tier.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, because like, okay, so the thing is, Thor is actually like a really good like classic hero's journey. It's like you've got your cocky, arrogant prince who ends up getting like brought down like many pegs.
Yeah, true, but still,
And then like he's able to learn humility by just spending time around people who are normally way weaker than him. It's like he kind of gets to see things from their point of view a bit
yeah,
more.
but I'm still like, it's quite forgettable. Like if I'm rewatching, if I'm looking at the list, I'm like things I want to rewatch. I know Thor is going to be like one. I'm just like, yeah, nah.
Dang.
I'm more
But yeah.
likely to watch the next film on our list because it's actually got some really good stuff in it. Very beginning and the very end, it's got some really good stuff.
Well, to be fair, so would I. But yeah, I reckon Thor is, again, actually quite underrated. Particularly because it's like, Loki, I think, like I'd said before, is kind of, I think he's a more fleshed out villain in this one than the Avengers. Because it's like, remind me, why does he do what he does in the Avengers again?
I think he wants to rule Earth.
Uh-huh. And why does he want to do that?
I believe it's his birthright. No, it's not his birthright. His birthright was to. I think it's said in. I can't remember if it's said in this film or Dark World, but his birthright, because he's from Jotunheim, was to die, and Odin was like, "Nah, fam, I'll save you." So I think he wants to rule. He just wants to be a ruler. I know, and he's using the Chitauri to do that.
I see.
He just wants to be like a king and a ruler in the Avengers.
Yeah. I feel, but like in Thor, it's like he kind of is doing everything just like because he wants to get like approval from his dad, who is from Odin, who has denied him of basically any type of approval his whole life.
Yeah, I still prefer him in Avengers.
Fair enough.
All right, so also this is where they introduce Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, that's right, it is.
They do him like a very small cameo.
Oh, and yeah, and actually, I forgot, Iron Man 2 introduces Black Widow.
Yeah, but Black Widow is at least like a prominent character in the film. Like, Hawkeye is just a cameo in Thor.
Yeah. Actually, I think... Isn't one of the what-ifs meant to be like, what if Hawkeye, like, killed Thor in Thor?
I don't know. I have not looked into the Marvel shows too much. I know a lot about WandaVision. Haven't watched it. I know a lot about Loki. I've actually seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then I haven't seen What If. I've seen a bit of stuff about What If, but nothing really about it.
I don't know where I'd heard it. But yeah, okay, so yours... Wait, where was it you put Thor again?
Subpar. So it's like an
Subpar.
average.
Okay, and I put it like bottom of pretty good. Alright.
The next film.
Next film, Captain America: The First Avenger.
It is the first. It's my first film I've placed in average tier. It's the bottom of average.
Oh, okay.
It's bottom of average because I think everything. Because it's not. Because the middle section of the film is very forgettable, but the early section is so good.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair.
And then the ending is really good as well. That ending is like, you know, when he breaks out and Nick Fury's like, "Yo, you okay, Captain?" And he's like, "Yeah, I had a date." Cut to black.
Actually, I'd say even like the scene that's just before that, where he's crashing into the scene.
Oh yeah, that scene is
the ice. Yeah,
and
it's also quite moving.
Can't remember her name, but I know the actress who plays Carter is really like. I love her in that role. I think I watched.
She
Agent
is.
Carter.
I
watched the first season of Agent Carter because I was like, I think her name is Haley Atwell.
It is.
Yeah, I remember I really liked her as Carter, and I just wanted to see more of it. I'm just like, yeah, just love her in the role.
She was very good as Carter, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've Captain America.
Beginning part of First Avenger. Also, did you know that they used CGI to get Chris Evans in that skinny...
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, well, yes, I do know that.
It's like there's a bit where it's like he's like standing next to like a bunch of soldiers all lined up, and it's just like, in order to give the illusion that he's just so much shorter than all the other soldiers, they had Chris just kneel on a box.
Yeah, so First Avenger is C tier. It's an average film
C tier.
because mostly the villain is just kind of there.
Yeah, it's like
The plot is really forgettable. It's more for like the character stuff you like.
Yeah, like Red Skull I think is mostly like well known because I think he's mostly memorable because he's played by Hugo Weaving, and Hugo Weaving does very good with what he's given.
Mr. Anderson. That'll I don't remember any of his lines from Lord of the Rings.
Oh wait, I do actually. It's like I was there when it started.
When the Westfold
Cast it into the fire, destroy it.
Isildur. Yeah, I can't believe I got that line. Isildur, cast it into the fire, destroy it. No. Anyway,
What a
yeah.
meme.
I've seen
Yeah,
it several times.
I actually put Captain America like I guess high, pretty good tier. Not
Mine
at the top, but like still like higher in the top
Mine is
half.
better than mine is bottom average because I feel like the others just are more fun. They're more fun and they've got better elements in the film.
Fair enough.
All right. So the next one.
The next one, the big one, the Avengers.
I think to this day that the first Avengers is one of the best ones. It's not in S tier. I've placed it in amazing, middle amazing, which is A.
Middle amazing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really love this film. It's got everything. It makes shows equal time to every character. It's got some pretty great lines. Trailers are very good. That moment in the trailer where he's like, "I'm bringing the party to you," and he rounds the corner and I don't know what they're called, but I know the big Chitauri kind of snake.
Leviathans.
Is that really what they're called?
I think they're called Leviathans.
Really? They couldn't come up with something better? Whatever. The Leviathan rounds the corner, and then Romanoff's like, "How's that a party?"
Yeah, that's right. I think that was like someone was trying to sell the Avengers movie to me because it was like they knew I was into the comics, but I hadn't seen any of the movies yet. And they used that example as being like, it's funny as well. And I was like, wait, what? An action movie that's funny? Because I was young and inexperienced in cinema. So I didn't realize you could have a funny action movie.
Oh, humor was never a concern for me when I was that young. It was more like, haha, big explosion, fight scene. Fight scene go brr.
Fight scene go boom.
But there's but the fight scenes in this film are really great. There's that forest fight scene between Thor, Captain America, and Stark.
That's right. Yeah.
There's the whole final battle for New York.
Yeah.
Is there any other fight scenes? I mean, there's the opening one, but like,
there is the opening
doesn't count.
one. Yeah. Oh, you're not okay. What are those other? Oh, there's the whole action scene where like Hulk just tears through the helicarrier.
Oh yeah. Then there's the little skirmish that Cap and Loki have before Stark gets there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Some great scenes in this film, like the German man not kneeling. That's great.
Yeah. The drama that always gets like injected at some point of the movie was like actually very natural.
Yeah, I love that line. Take off the suit of armor. What are you? Billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. I'm like, oof.
Someone actually
genius billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Someone actually like brought my attention to Cap and Tony both bring up like they say two different lines that like someone drew parallels to in Endgame. It was like Cap was like he was like, you're not the one to like make the sacrifice call, and then Tony is like, everything special about you came out of a bottle, and that both of those lines end up gaining more importance later on.
Interesting. I haven't heard this actually.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I'll bring it up again
later.
Yeah.
But I still think Avengers is one of the better. I think it's better than a lot of other stuff. So I've thrown it in A tier.
I would agree. I also put it in A tier, but I put it in like the very top of A tier as well.
I've put it in the middle. Because like
Uh,
the 6 films that I've got above Avengers, I think are just that much better.
I see. Yeah, so that's phase 1. So I'm thinking since we took like 30 minutes to get through phase 1, might be appropriate to just break them up into like
their phases, yeah.
into their phases, yeah. So I'll stop this recording now, but then like just re-record or like start recording like immediately after. So
fair enough.
yeah, just be easier to like break things up. So
You mean easier for you to find the actual files later?
I mean, yeah, also easier for editing as well if I don't have to like break it up into pieces. I don't know. I mean, granted, it's not like it's that difficult to do that.
Fair
but
enough.
regardless,
All right,
so
that's
yeah,
phase
so
one.
that's phase 1. We
So
will see you guys again for phase 2.
yes.
So until then, guys, have a good one.
Yep. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Next thing to put on the boys playlist.